Hey YouTube, it's ICU. This morning, Apple released iOS 7.1.2 to the general public for all iOS devices, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to jailbreak 7.1.2 fully untethered for the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 5C, the iPhone 5, the iPhone 4S, iPhone 4, the iPad Air, the second generation Retina display iPad mini, the original iPad mini, the fourth generation iPad, the third generation iPad, the iPad 2, as well as the fifth generation iPod Touch, which is what I'm going to be using to demonstrate with in this tutorial. Alright, and to start off, I'm going to preface by saying a few things. First of all, iOS 7.1.2 is released as a minor update, and seeing as it's a minor update, it doesn't actually patch the vulnerabilities exploited by the Pangu jailbreak utility. So that's what we're going to be using to jailbreak with in this tutorial. Also, the Pangu dev team actually included code inside of the original version of Pangu to function on and fully support iOS 7.1.2, again, provided that the exploits weren't patched. And in this case, since they aren't, Pangu can jailbreak 7.1.2. And if you're at all confused about Pangu, you have any questions regarding its legitimacy, its origin, or how it actually works, I will have an annotation on the screen now to one of my previous videos. It's actually a Pangu jailbreak tutorial that goes over the utility in more depth before actually showing how to jailbreak 7.1.2. So once you've watched that video, which I highly recommend you do, or at least the beginning part of that video, then you can come back here to again jailbreak 7.1.2 on your iOS device. Alright, and with that said, I need to mention a prerequisite that is very important, so please pay attention here. If you updated to iOS 7.1.2 via Apple's over-the-air update option inside of the Settings app, then you will have to back up your device inside of iTunes, restore to 7.1.2, again, inside of iTunes itself, jailbreak, and then go back to iTunes and restore from your backup that you created to, again, ensure that you retain all of your data. And if you did update via Apple's OTA or over-the-air update option, you will most definitely have to follow that method. If you updated via iTunes, though, it's up to you, but that is the method that I definitely recommend. Again, back up inside of iTunes first, and then restore to 7.1.2, jailbreak, and then restore from your backup to, again, ensure that you have all of your data on your device. Alright, and with that said, the only thing you're going to need to download for this jailbreak tutorial is just Pangu. So I will have a link to an article down below in the more info that contains complete download links to the latest version of Pangu that I actually demonstrated in yesterday's tutorial following the Pangu team's updated version of their utility for both OS X and English support. However, if you are on a Windows-based PC, of course, you can just download the Windows version and you will be able to successfully jailbreak. And really quick, just to confirm, I'm going to show you guys that my 5th generation iPod Touch is indeed on iOS 7.1.2 by going inside of Settings, General, About, and down below for the version at the bottom, it does confirm that this is indeed iOS 7.1.2, again running on a 5th generation iPod Touch. Alright, and with that said, one last thing before we actually continue, because Pangu does utilize expired developer enterprise certificates, you're going to have to set your date back on your device to a time when the developer account still possessed its distribution privileges, because obviously Apple doesn't sanction the use of developer enterprise accounts to actually provide the initial unsigned code execution for jailbreaks. Again, they revoked the distribution privileges of the account that was used to generate the certificates for Pangu. So that's why it's required to set your date back. Just clarifying before we actually get into the jailbreak tutorial. And if you want more details, again, I recommend watching my earlier jailbreak tutorial where I go over all of that and more regarding Pangu. Let's continue. First of all, you're going to plug your device into your computer via a standard USB cable. So I just have the one that my iPod Touch shipped with here, and I'm connecting it to my computer. And you can then close out of iTunes when it pops up the first time. Now, let's continue by opening the Pangu utility. And I'm going to bring the window over and zoom in now. Alright, and as you can see inside of Pangu, at the top it does confirm that I have an iPod Touch 5.1 or 5th generation iPod Touch running iOS 7.1.2 connected. Now, if you have an iPhone or iPad, the identifier might not match up with your device's generation. That's fine, that's just because of Apple's unique naming system. So for instance, if you had an iPhone 5S on AT&T, it would most likely say iPhone 6.1. So that doesn't really matter. If you aren't aren't too familiar with Apple's naming system, as long as it recognizes that the device you have connected is running iOS 7.1.2, or actually any version of 7.1, including 7.1.1 for that matter, you can continue. So I'm just going to hit the jailbreak button, and then it's going to tell us to set our date back, just preparing you guys in advance for what we need to do. So let's go ahead and click jailbreak, and now I'm going to bring my iPod Touch over here and refocus. So just open the settings application on your device, again just the standard settings app. So once you have settings open, you can go to general and then scroll down to date and time. From here, if you have 24-hour time checked up at the top, you will need to set it to 2030. However, because I don't, we're going to set it to 8:30. You also have to get the date right, so you need to uncheck set automatically, and you're going to go down to the bottom to June 2nd. Again, this is when the developer account still possessed its distribution privileges for the developer enterprise certificate. So let's set it to Monday, June 2nd, and we're going to set it to 8:30, and that is PM. So let's go to 8:30, and there we are, 8:30 PM. And once you've set it at 8:30 PM, it will continue inside of Pangu. And I'm just going to leave it up on the display here. We're actually going to exit out of settings in a second, but for now you can just leave it open inside of the settings app and just wait for it to continue. If you get stuck at injecting bundles, that's fine. Again, just wait for it. Now at this point, I'm going to press the home button and we're going to continue. Inside of Pangu, it says, please tap the Pangu icon. So do not tap it or do not exit until you actually see that. So I'm going to swipe over to my second page here, which is where I have availability on my springboard, and I'm going to tap Pangu. Now do not close out of it. It is very important that you leave Pangu open and your device connected to your computer at this point. In fact, I recommend that you don't even interface with your computer or your device, and you just let the process play through. So again, leave the Pangu app open and do not disconnect your iDevice from your computer. All right, and as you can see, it did power off now. It's going to reboot. Leave your device connected because the jailbreak hasn't finished and it still needs to complete. So you're not done yet. Leave it connected and don't interface with your computer. All right, it's coming back up and I'm going to leave it on the display here throughout the duration of the jailbreak process, just so you guys can see approximately how long each step should take. And because my photo library popped up there for a second when I connected my iPod Touch, I just blurred that out really quick. And now what I'm going to do is swipe over and we're going to go inside of the Pangu app again. So you're going to need to tap Pangu for a second time. And don't worry if you get a storage almost full message. That's not actually accurate. That's typical of Pangu. It should happen for every device that jailbreaks via Pangu. And if iTunes actually pops up during this process, do not close out of iTunes. That is very important. If you happen to close out of iTunes during the Pangu jailbreak, then it will most likely fail and your device will not function properly. So again, I cannot stress that enough. iTunes actually gave me a pop-up message saying that the iPod could not sync, that's fine, as long as I don't close out of iTunes. It's still open in the dock. As you can see there, I just got a splash screen of the Pangu jailbreak on my iPod Touch. That means that it's still functioning on the device itself. Alright, and closing out of the second photo library pop-up, let's continue. Alright, and as you can see, we can now unlock, and I'm going to scroll over, and we have Cydia on the 5th generation iPod Touch. It will reorganize the file system, and then from there it will instantly respring. While you can close out of Cydia though, I recommend leaving it open and just waiting for it to instantly respring on its own. It could take some time though, depending on your device, and again, I recommend doing this from a clean restore of 7.1.2. So again, I'm just going to leave my iPod Touch up here on the screen so you guys can see how long it should take. Alright, and there we go, it did respring. And now we will be able to slide to unlock and go over to Cydia. And I'm going to show you guys that Cydia confirms this is a 5th generation iPod Touch on iOS 7.1.2. All right, and sliding to unlock, let's go over to Cydia. And let's wait for Cydia to load really quick. All right, as you can see, I do have Cydia here on the 5th generation iPod Touch. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and show you that Cydia confirms this is running 7.1.2. Alright, so after zooming in, you will notice that this says iPod 5.1, iOS 7.1.2, Cydia 1.1.12. So again, you know this is indeed a 5th generation iPod Touch running iOS 7.1.2 fully jailbroken by way of Pangu. Now I'm going to go down to the Sources tab at the bottom, All Sources, and I'm just going to go to All Packages and show you that I have access to all the traditional packages inside of Cydia, and I could install them if I decided to. So let's just go to a random one here. As you can see, if I wanted to, I could actually install it. So I'm going to cancel out of it though, because I don't want to install it. So again, this is an iPod Touch. It's a 5th generation, fully jailbroken, running iOS 7.1.2, and this will work for any iOS 7 powered device that's actually running on and updated to iOS 7.1.2. However, if you did update via Apple's over-the-air update option, again, you must first back up inside of iTunes, restore to 7.1.2, jailbreak, and then restore from your backup. Alright, and zooming back out here, I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope it helped you jailbreak 7.1.2. If it did, just be sure to rate it up and leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section if you're interested in earning paid applications. And once your comment's been posted, just be sure to visit bit.ly/getfreeapplife or freeapplife.com inside of mobile Safari. And then once downloaded, you'll be able to install sponsored apps for points and then redeem said points for various prizes, again, such as paid application codes from Apple's App Store, gift cards, bigger electronic devices, and you'll even be able to enter giveaways that the service holds on a regular basis as well. Alright, and that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to check the annotations if you're on the desktop version of YouTube though, because they are important. One of them will be a link to my previous Pangu jailbreak tutorial that actually highlights more details about Pangu, and it kind of dispels a few common misconceptions regarding the Chinese jailbreak utility. And the second one is actually my most recent episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors, where I go over the jailbreak again in more depth there as well. So just be sure to check out both of those videos. They're on the screen now if you're on the desktop version of YouTube. And again, enjoy your jailbreak in iOS 7.1.2, guys. And if this video helped you, be sure to share it around. Also, if you want to be updated more often, such as when I create new tech and jailbreak videos, just be sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.